So, welcome back. After, talking about, Abattoir. It's time to get on to the next band. Of course, for these, next four albums, they're all Metal Blade releases. So now we're back to talking about the Metal Blade, bands. Kicking off with that is Tyrant. Now, Tyrant were definitely, They definitely do fall within this, but the one thing that makes Tyrant a bit different is the fact that they actually had a bit of a doom sound to them, kind of mixing doom with some of the really early U.S. power metal, and yet it ends up paying off. It gives this album a much darker, much feel to it, and definitely also given with Rocky Rockwell's guitar tone, which is definitely a little low tuned, and then you got Glenn May's "Fuck You Got His Singing," which is wow. This guy has a range. He has definitely a good range, and he fits this album nicely. At times, he almost even reminds me a little bit of Ronnie James Dio. Then he just goes in some real dark moments, which we'll definitely talk about. And then he also definitely unleashes some falsettos that are very similar, like Rob Halford. So, album kicks off at Warriors of Metal. Fast pounding track. Definitely really good. Kicks. It's just definitely more that Judas Priest, S track. Then we get, which is done nicely. What else can I say? It just starts off the album very nicely. Then we get into Fall Into the Hands of Evil, which is where this is kind of the one thing I've been trying to kind of decipher with this band is. I don't know if decipher is actually a word, but there seems to be a Christian sort of message with some of this band, like Christian undertones, not overtones. If it was overtones, it actually would be more present, but there seems to be it's more, to me, listening to this album, and especially with the, starting with this track as well, it's like it's like, the lyrics are more like a battle of good versus evil, kind of similar with the what Ronnie James Dio brought the Black Sabbath with Heaven and Hell. So, but this band takes that sort of idea and sort of style, but takes a bit further, kind of giving it even a bit more of a sort of a much more darker spin on it, and that's definitely present with this track. And you've got the Battle of Armageddon, which was a demo at first, which that version appears in one of the Metal Massacres, which is Metal Massacre 3. Definitely this shows a bit of the doomier parts of the band, alongside the title track, which is good progression as well. Goes from kind of soft parts, if we're going into real heavy, more crunching stuff, and then just going back. It's definitely and this is pretty much how it starts off side one, so just a really good track overall. That's at times it's almost a little around 7 minutes long, so definitely kind of tells again, it's a little more of the doomier tracks alongside the Battle of Armageddon. And then we get the Tyrant's Revelation, which is an intro that then, of course, goes into Listen to the Preacher. Again, there's that Christian undertone there. But again, it's also one of the slower tracks in here. Again, a little doomy as well, but still done very well. Done really good. Nights of Darkness, really good track nonetheless. Again, it kind of brings a little speed a bit back to the sound, and then we get Through the Night, which has a riff that's very similar to Something More by Law's Rocket off the City's Gonna Burn album. Definitely has a similar riff. It's definitely Priest sounding. Then we get the Sacrifice. Now, Sacrifice is definitely one of the more, again, it's a doomier track, and at times a much darker song than Legions of the Night and the Battle of Armageddon. And it's the way the song starts, which before I hit record on this video, I tried to decipher the backwards message that was actually in the beginning, which is giving a bit of a real dark spin on it, but really playing this song and this part in reverse, which of course puts it forward, because again it was played on the actual album, it's played backwards, but again with the technology nowadays you actually can also be able to easily reverse it. So I reversed it, and I still don't know what the fuck it's even depicting. Though I kind of get a picture what it is. Again, remember when I said that this band kind of takes that good versus evil sort of thing to a bit different, lengths? Here, it's pretty much that. It's kind of course, with the title like Sacrifice, it kind of makes sense. It's like, because you get Glenn May, who's pretty much screaming pretty much in fucking I don't know what the again, kind of, you almost sound, it's a little, a bit kind of dark and eerie. Then you do also get some demonic voices right there, like almost possession or sacrificial, whatever. And then, of course, there's the last part that is quite eerie. The one thing that I did depict, that it says that, of course, the darker the demon says, "Show myself, show my face," or something, which just seems, I guess that's what I heard. And then, of course, he then goes into acoustic tones, and again, then you get, it just turns into a more of a doomy, sort of dark track, but this isn't, the thing is, Tyrant really isn't really a satanic band. If anything, this band, again, like I just said, they're taking the idea of good versus evil that Ronnie James Dio brought into Black Sabbath on, Heaven and Hell, but they take it much further. So with this, it's kind of like that. So, but that they took it to an extreme, in a way. For 1985, this actually would seem very extreme, and almost would seem to be on the same level as Venom or Merciful Fate. But it's done in a more religious or Christian sort of way. But yet, it still feels very dark than compared to your average Christian metal band. Like Stryper or Saint or others that come to mind. Then we get Time Is Running Low, which is really good. It definitely ends the album, and it's done on a good note. That's all I can say. Overall, this is actually a really solid album. That's all I can say about that. Really good tracks. Again, definitely does show that doom being mixed with that US power metal sound. Just done very well. There really isn't anything bad to say about it. So, after this, they would release another album, and we'll talk about that. So, if you have heard Legions of the Dead, what are your thoughts? If you have any thoughts, you can post your comments down below. This Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out, and I'll see you on the other video.